everybody, welcome to this week's Prophetic Trumpet. We have completed the first, and now we're into the second portion of the Rise of the Beast system. Every year on the Prophetic Trumpet, it just seems like we discuss different aspects of prophecy, obviously, because we're called the Prophetic Trumpet, right? And we touch upon some of those subjects annually. Now, the development of the Mark of the Beast, or the Beast system, is one of those because implementation has been picking up steam for the last 3 years at a very high rate. Now, as reported from Revelation chapter 13, it is the Antichrist who will join all these components together and create actually move it to a global means in Revelation 16. And then this ruler will have the entire finances at his disposal in order to do this. Everything will be dropped at this guy's feet. And last week we touched upon the social credit score scenario, but only lightly, because we were speaking more so of digital ID. Now today we're going to focus on that as to how it ties to CBDC, or basically known as digital currency. We could get into the aspects of this as we go, but I want you to be aware some of this may startle you. For those of you that are not aware of what this is a system that does not, that does do away with the use of hard currencies, of coins and dollar bills and money marks. The dollar is now entirely digital when this comes to be. Everything is digital. It's tabulated by a system as to how you earn and as you spend. 3 countries utilize this system currently. 3 countries already have digital currency in place. It is the Bahamas, it is Jamaica, it is Nigeria, and it is China. That's more than 3. That's interesting. Let's try this again. Bahamas, Jamaica, Nigeria, China, with China, the United Kingdom, Australia, Sweden, and India using it to a regional capacity and unveiling it on a very limited basis as a test run. Okay, so you have Bahamas, Jamaica, and Nigeria are the ones that are exclusively using this at this point, but there are others quickly falling into place. That's how quick this is moving. Now, I'm going to go into some stuff here that some of you may have a hard time believing. I have got the citations below in the notes section. Feel free to click on that if you want to doubt me or if you want to do any further research on your own. Now, China's system is what we're going to address here first. It is unique, and that the money earned must be utilized by a specific date, or it will be dissolved and erased from the account. I want you to catch that. It evaporates. So if you were a Chinese citizen and you earned your paycheck, you only have so long to spend the entirety of that paycheck, because if you do not, it goes away. It evaporates. It is erased from the system and from your account. In other words, it makes it impossible for an individual or a family to save and thus become more dependent upon the Communist Chinese government. Again, I have the citation for this below. Like I said, this is some stuff that is very startling to deal with, that is moving quickly on the global scene, and we just need everybody to be prepared as to what is being pushed upon us by politicians acting in a manner that is not the will of the people. Not that that's the case in China, because, well, they're communist. Okay, so also, let's go a little bit further. Part of this system is the deduction of funds if compliance to federal mandates and initiatives are not met. Did you catch that? You will be penalized if you do not comply to the government's wishes, or if there is any negative attitudes portrayed towards the government detected on social media or through surveillance systems upon the citizens. Because Big Brother has been watching for quite a long time. In case you hadn't been aware, I remember when it was just on stoplight, on light poles. Now it is everywhere. Cameras are everywhere. And this is entirely utilized by the governments of the world, and even the ones with microphones are being able to pick up conversations, private conversations, and those conversations are being used against the will of the people. And guess what? There is plenty of those out there that believe that these things right here do the exact same thing, that they never shut off, and that they can record video, that they can record audio, and that they will be used against you if you are in a particular region and speak out against the country, government, and mandates. So again, remember, this is Revelation 13 that we're referring to here. The system demands total allegiance in Revelation 13 to the point of worship of this individual known as the Antichrist and the image derived from him. So this goes against everything that we are taught as Christians, because we only worship one king, and that's Jesus. That's the only thing we worship. We don't worship money. We don't worship fame. We don't worship the culture. We don't worship the Super Bowl. Oh, wait a minute. I might get sued for saying that. The big game, excuse me. We only worship Jesus. We only worship Jesus. So really, this goes against everything that Christians are being taught. That's part of the reason why it was revealed in the book of Revelation by the Apostle John and shown to him as a vision in the Spirit. Now, cultures around the world have shaped this in a manner of convenience and efficiency for the purchasing of goods and for security, because, hey, you can't be held up if you got no money, if you got no hard money on your person. They may be able to steal your phone or however means they have to be able to house this database of your finances. But again, they have to have access. You can be hacked, but really, they're painting this as a means of security. But the reality of this is the governments of the world who utilize it are the ones who have total control of what is in the account and your means of accessibility to it. Because if you, as I said, do not comply and have a social credit score that they deem as favorable, you will be cut off. We've seen this before. It has actually happened before. Now, in the end, it will be under the control of a system that combines the tying of health and finances and even spiritual systems under one form. And it will be given access, it will give access to the users that are allegiant to food and to water, to housing, and to utilities. Now, do you see how difficult this is to deal with? And how completely against the followings of the Bible this is? We will worship no other God but Jehovah God. So do you see how difficult this is to kind of wrestle with, that this is coming upon us? And what is sad is that there are two generations now who have been groomed to believe that this is better than the original manner because of the supposed safety and convenience of not being able to be mugged, of simply being able to wave your hand like you're some sort of Jedi and be able to get access to specific areas and venues. But my prayer is that they see that you can be hacked and you have to surrender a vast amount of freedom, and there's a huge chasm of diminishing returns if you do not comply with governmental mandates that may go against what you stand for as a human being. Now, if there's anything that we've learned, that if the lockdowns in 2020, that medical emergency, were a trial run according to the leader of the World Economic Forum, then what will it be when it's fully implemented? What will it be? It's mechanically enforced now, and its legally decreed time frame will look like the well-being of every nation, of every people globally, are going to be put under this system by the end of Revelation chapter 16. That is Great Tribulation for those of you playing score at home. So this is coming, and it's coming soon. And are you awake? Are you awake to realize the consequences of what this system brings, and by bowing down to it and the sacrifice it will be? Because remember, the one who takes the mark, you do not enter into the gates of heaven. You do not collect $500 and, well, you're kind of lost. Have you taken measures to act accordingly, to resist this? Because it is coming upon the earth. This is your word of the day. Spread it to the world. It is your responsibility to be a light to the world and to share the truth of God's word just as I have. So we count on you to get the measure out there by liking and sharing this to the world. We want to thank you for joining us for this week's Prophetic Trumpet. We hope the light of God's word is awakening you and recognizing in you your need for his victory over the world system, and that he will see to it that none of this comes against you if you just follow him. We'll see you next week.